how does this school dare to ban the most favorite holiday for woke people? And I mean this not ironically, it is their most favorite holiday. How do I know this? Well, it's because I do happen to have a lot of friends that have been social justice activists. And one of the first things that I asked them, because I was genuinely curious about, was to have them explain to me how this whole thing with getting offended works. Like, were you genuinely offended? Were you faking it? And different individuals told me the same thing. They said that when they first joined their social justice clique, their community, they were in a very dark place. Usually, these individuals were introverted, they didn't know how to make any friends, and suddenly they find a group of furries or people at the university campus, a community of individuals that were like-minded, and they were very acceptant and tolerant, and they would give hugs and XOXO, and they would pretend to care. So you can imagine how it's like from an individual that feels lonely and doesn't have genuine human connection to actually find another group of people that all of a sudden are being nice to you. And what they noticed is that when someone got offended, they got a lot of attention from their own community, from their own clique. So if they would say that they suffered the microaggression or that they saw something racist, immediately all the community would gather and they would send them virtual hugs and compassionate emojis and asking if they're okay, do you need any counseling? So due to this behavior, they incentivize people to get offended. And my friend said that at first, it was like a game, like trying to figure out how something in reality contradicts the ideology that he knows, and therefore it can be perceived as offended, and you always are on the side of malice. So, for example, if a white person is wearing dreads, it is a microaggression, but it's actually a big deal. Oh, well, he's clearly a racist, he's inconsiderate, and because of that, I was so affected that day. I just couldn't think at school because knowing that there is so much racism in America and there's still so much work to be done, I was devastated. And everyone was like, oh my God, are you okay? XOXO. Like, don't worry about it. Like hopefully in the future things will change. But basically, this is how it started. It started as a game. And over time, they genuinely do get offended. Like, as they're playing around, as they're faking it, eventually they reach a point where they look at a commercial at the television, they're looking at a person that's walking across the street, and they genuinely do get angry. And what everyone that I spoke with who left the social justice group told me is that they realized it was very unhealthy for them. They didn't like the fact that they were angry constantly, that they weren't in control of their own emotions. They were upset every single time at every minute thing. And that is like one of the main reasons that they decided to leave the social justice group, especially when they noticed that they're not changing the world for the better or anything. It's just like a microcosmos where they're not in control of their own feelings and emotions anymore. And if you think like this, if you realize, okay, so people who are into social justice, or as modern day individuals call them woke now, they love being offended. And Halloween was that celebration. It was that thing where you would read on newspapers various reasons on why to get offended. And I remember like even seeing someone dressing their dog in a way that you don't like was now considered offensive. So they really dislike, they really enjoy Halloween because they can dislike so many things that their neighbors are doing. And they get like so many reasons to be upset. As well as harass other people. Like if you go in a specific costume that they don't like, they will actually harass because they do not believe in human rights. Like the freedom of expression, the freedom of association, free speech just doesn't exist for these individuals, right? So they enjoy going out of their way and harassing people that are different. You may have like a person that dresses in a costume and let's say they wear a sombrero, and people from Mexico wouldn't find that offensive at all, But the social justice activists on campus are livid. And there have been TikTok videos and multiple live leaks showing this, where a person would dress in a Mexican outfit, he would go on an American liberal campus, the white people there would be livid, they would say that it's almost as if he is causing a cultural genocide. And when he would go to Mexico or in a neighborhood where you have actual people from that community living there, everyone was like, no, it's a great costume. I even saw like a scandal where one point a person, an American, dressed as a Romanian, and they found that offensive. And I'm like, why is it offensive? It's a Romanian folklore costume. Like, it's fine. Right? But the thing is not about trying to change the world for the better. The thing is not about like actually being offended. The thing is to show that the visage of the costume has hurt you emotionally, and due to that you're having such a bad day that you need the hugs and the support of your friends, as well as the fact that harassing other people for microaggressions can be fun, which is why they're doing it. But I noticed this interesting thing, right? So you got, we don't celebrate Halloween at this school because only about a third of the US population does not celebrate it. So if 2/3 of the population celebrate something, but a third doesn't, then it's not for everyone, and some people feel that they don't belong. I mean, this is a really dumb reason, to be honest. But okay, you know, this is what the school believes. However, the same school is celebrating LGBT History Month, right? So if you go by their claim, where 2/3 of people don't celebrate Halloween and therefore we can't celebrate it at all, it is a bizarre thing to claim that, well, this is actually for everyone and it's inclusive. So you have like this constant hypocrisy that I notice it happening all the time within progressive circles, where they will say something like, well, Christmas isn't inclusive, calling it a Christmas tree isn't inclusive. Right? Like certain holidays that are rooted in tradition and have been done for the past century are not inclusive. However, new progressive things are inclusive, especially when, again, like most people, I think in the United States, don't happen to be part of the LGBT. Now again, the problem that people have aren't necessarily that they're celebrating LGBT History Month, is that they're not being consistent. Like, why can't you celebrate either both? Or you celebrate neither? Why is one getting the one up over another? And the reasoning that I think is to assert cultural dominance. It's an imperialist culture, a fascistic type of ideology where only that ideology can exist. Nothing against it is allowed to exist, but as well as nothing outside it is allowed to exist. And because Halloween isn't an official progressive holiday, this is the reasoning why it cannot exist. It's very similar to what the Roman Empire did when they would conquer various nations, and it's similar to colonialism. The idea is that once you conquer a group of people, you want to take away their traditions and their holidays and replace it with your own. So what the Roman Empire would do is, like, some of them would actually get removed, others would just get a Christian spin. So, for example, the Christmas tree, it has absolutely no equivalent in the Bible, but it's due to a pagan tradition. People would celebrate the winter solstice. The Roman Empire realized that that celebration was heavily ingrained into the culture and it was very difficult to uproot it. And due to that, they put a Christmas spin, a Christian spin on it. It's like, okay, well, actually, you have the Christmas tree, and this actually can point out to the star that the Magi went after it, and whatever. But like that is what they did. The progressives aren't that smart to at least like try to put like a progressive spin on holidays. And due to that, you have like this bizarre double standard, which is repeating. Like, again, it's not just this school. I have seen it done countless of times where they will claim, well, this is not inclusive. However, this other thing that we're doing, which is not as popular, and even fewer people actually celebrate it, this one is the one that we're going to promote because it's progressive. You also see this with historical people. Like, they will go and they will tear down statues because those statues have said or done something racist in their life. But they never go down for famous communists, right? Like they will never take down a Che Guevara statue for the homophobic things that Che Guevara did. They will never take down a Karl Marx statue for the anti-Semitic or racist things that Karl Marx said. And yeah, it is, again, it is imperialism and it is colonialism. Like their stuff, right? Like the colonial force is good and just, and their heroes and their mythos, even if they're not perfect, they're still okay. Meanwhile, your mythos, the conquered, they have to submit. They have to give away their traditions. They have to give away their customs and their culture because they're rooted in evil, and they have to adopt the colonial cultures. This is how I view it. And when you view it like this, it all makes sense. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will find you in the comment section. Take care.